What's going on, fellas? So today I'm going to give you the power of not reacting. All right, fellas, and this is truly a power because this can be used for good or it can be used for bad. Just like life, fellas, there's a yin and yang to everything. And the reason why detaching from your emotions is a power, guys, is because if you don't use this wisely, you can become cold and you can become unavailable and you can become unapproachable to the point to where you can't mingle and interact with people. But this is what I want you to do, guys. I want you to start picturing your mind as a tree. Depending on the environment, which is the soil of your tree. Okay, guys, your subconscious thoughts, the things that you believe in, the soil, the people around you, the things that pretty much make up your environment. That's the soil of your tree. That's the soil of your mind. Now I want you to think about the information that you take into. That's the water. Okay, remember I talked about your tree either dying or growing. So in order for your mind to grow, you must fill your mind with not only positive information, but information that's going to make you a competitive man so you can stand out and win in today's world. Okay, guys, so your experiences, the information that you take in, your day-to-day habits, that's the water that you put on the tree. Okay, guys, now let's talk about this. Most men, and the reason why a lot of men don't have control of their emotions is because they only focus on outcomes and results. This is why they can't detach from their emotions. Why? Because they're attached to outcomes and results. These are the branches of your tree. See, because when people look at trees and they look at plants and flowers, they only look at the outside appearance of it, but they never pay attention to the environment, the actual soil and roots of that plant or tree. And what they also don't pay attention to is the watering of that plant, the sunlight, the actual person who's watering the plant, the actual people or person or things or music or movies who have the influence on your mind. This has a lot to do with your emotions. So when you talk about how to control your emotions, it's all about controlling your mind, but not just looking at what's going on around you today. Those are the roots and the branches. You want to pay attention to why things are happening, why you even think the way you think about certain things. This will change your perspective. So you guys know I always talk about reframing your mind. And that's what we're going to do today. So I'll give you an example. When you're driving down the road and you're on your way to work and you're 15 minutes late, all right, because you woke up late. So it's your fault already. But you're driving down the road and then somebody cuts you off. All right, and the way they cut you off, it didn't even make sense because they could have waited till you passed by, or they could have at least put their turning signal on, but they just cut you off. Now you mad. Why? And you tripping in the car, you slamming your hand on the steering wheel, you yelling to the top of your lungs and they can't even hear you, but you mad. Why? You only mad because of the result that happened, the person cutting you off, but you ain't even consider the fact that it's your fault you was late. And if you probably would have woke up not even early, but at least on time, G, you probably wouldn't even experience that. And you're also not considering the fact that this guy probably having a bad day, or this guy probably in a hurry to probably get to his pregnant wife that's in labor right now. You ain't even thinking, you just crashing out. Okay, guys, so that leads me to my next point. I need you to think about the bigger picture. Okay, guys, we always talking about being a bigger person. All right, fellas, but I want you to think about the bigger picture. This is emotional stability. This is emotional intelligence. All right, now I'm going to make this fun because this is a deep topic today and I don't want to get too dramatic, but I'll give you an example. One of my heroes, all right, I'm not going to say my mentor because this shit don't make sense, but one of my heroes and one of the people I actually look up to, G, and when I explain this, you're going to understand, is Thanos. All right, for any of you guys know Thanos from Marvel. He's like a villain from Marvel. But anyway, Thanos is a very wise villain, as you guys know. Now, in one of the Avengers movie, Thanos, the main villain, he got to this point where he had to kill his daughter. And the reason why he had to kill his daughter because he had to fulfill his mission, his true mission, his purpose, the shit he had to do. But fellas, this is where this relates to the bigger picture, all right, guys? They got to a point where he had to like throw his daughter Gamora off a roof. And before he threw off a roof, they had a little bit of dialogue, and she looked at him, and she like, bro, what's good? Like, I'm your blood. Like, you just gonna throw me off the roof, G? And he looking at her like, baby girl, I gotta do it, okay? So this is him. He got in a situation, fellas, and it's probably confused you, but check this out. He got in a situation where he had a decision to make. All right, he had already made up his mind before they got to the fucking cliff, G. But because she started crying and she started bugging out and crashing out, he could have changed his mind and not fulfill his purpose. But he completely detached from his emotions and looked at the bigger picture and said, nah, bitch, you gotta go. We got stuff to do, all right? You had your time already. This is my time now, all right? And at the end, he ended up fulfilling his purpose. And everybody liked Thanos. Why? Because he's a G, all right? Fellas, stoic as shit. And that's what you need to be. People tell you to be stoic, but they don't give you the framework around it. Fellas, bigger picture. Like I always say, get on top of the roof, fellas. Anytime you in emotional turmoil, all right, guys? Anytime you fucked up in the head, just stop, breathe, get on the roof. Okay, fellas, you shooting around, you running around, people shooting at you. It's loud gunshots. You can't even hear what's going on. And your next move is to just open fire and just close your eyes and shoot everywhere. You can't do that, G. Pause. It's the next thing I want to tell you about, fellas. Pausing. All right, so I give you an example. If somebody come at you crazy, G, and that's usually why you crashing out about a lot of stuff, trust me. Because if nobody came at you crazy, what you got to be mad about, G? It always has to do with somebody else or maybe something else, which we'll talk about later. But maybe somebody came at you crazy. They stepped to you, they got fresh with you, they called you out your name, some chick disrespected you, whatever, G. What I want you to do the next time this happens, all right? I want you to put yourself like in a fucking sitcom. Y'all ever watch The Office? Y'all know how the characters on The Office, every time something crazy used to happen, they used to stop and go in like the fourth wall and look at the camera. You feel me? That's what you need to do, bro. Stop and pause. Look at yourself. Think about it. What is actually going on? So like the traffic situation, somebody cut you off, G, take 3 to 5 seconds and think about it. Okay, this dude bugging, bro. I ain't even really mad today. I'm just late. So I'm not going to let one person who I can't even see his face, G. It could be an old ass woman who can't even see out her peripheral, G. And I probably give her more grace knowing it was an old ass woman. So let me do this. In the next 3 to 5 seconds after they done cut me off, I'm going to picture in my head it was an old ass woman and she can't see, bro. All right? Because I ain't even mad. So why would I bring that negative energy in my life? All right, fellas? This is what I talked about the tree. Don't just look at the leaves and the branches, G. Check out the environment. Check out the watering. All right, fellas? And look, let me get back to this. When I talk about watering your mind, bro, let me tell you something, fellas. And I ain't a hypocrite, G. I ain't gonna lie. I do it from time to time. But, G, listen to me. Guys, men especially, bro. Ladies, if you're watching this, but seriously, you need to pay attention to the shit you listen to and what you watch. Not just people. I'm talking about music and movies. Now, I know we all do it for entertainment. You know, you working out, you want to jam some Nipsey. That's what I do every day, bro. I ain't gonna lie. When I'm in the gym, G, I'm jamming Nipsey. But I'm gonna tell you this, bro. I gotta pay attention to what I'm listening to in my mind because you don't understand. These are words that are coming in your mind, G. Nobody ever told you this, but somebody probably have, but you didn't probably listen the first time. So I'm circling back around, G. Listen. Pay attention to the shit you listen to every day. All right, I'll give you an example. I hear a lot of guys telling me, come to me, DM me on Instagram and say that they replace music in the gym for podcasts. That's great, G. You know why? Because while you're releasing endorphins in the gym, you're taking in information through your ears at the same time and it's going straight to your brain. That's like pouring gasoline on the plant or the tree, G. All right, now every now and then some gasoline might fall on it, G. You feel me? Or you might play around just because you know you taking care of your tree or your plant, but at the same time, G, you go dumping gasoline on it every day. You intaking social media. I heard something about a TikTok ban, G. I hope they ban it, not really, but you know what I'm saying, G. I just want people to pay attention to the shit that they bringing in their mind, bro. Because if you can't gauge it, when I say gauge it, I'm talking about if you can't put a discipline on it, say, okay, I'll listen to this song to get me pumped up, but I'ma know I ain't no gangster like Nipsey. You feel me? You feel me? I'm talking to you young guys, all right? This is what's fucking with your emotions. So when you get into situations that are conflicting or you get into altercations, guys, your subconscious is telling you something. Your subconscious is based on your environment, the watering. All right? Don't complain about anything if you're not taking care of that fucking tree. All right? So there are 3 main emotions that I'm going to talk about today. All right, guys, and I'm going to help you with, and I'm going to show you how to detach from this shit so you can stop letting your feelings get to you. All right, maybe you're not emotional, or wait, let me say this. Maybe you don't think you're emotional because you don't cry all the time. But anger, fellas, all right, this shit ain't masculine when you can't control it. All right, guys, another one. And this one I understand. All right, fellas, because I go through it as well, but I'm going to show you how to reframe your mind and use it differently. All right, and then this last one. I'm not going to use the word depression because I hate it, so I'm going to say sad. Let's get into it. Number one, anger. Fellas, we're talking about emotional awareness. All right, guys, it's okay if something pisses you off. Let me give you an example, all right? You walking with your girl, and y'all walking down the street, having a great time. It's broad daylight, and some dude walk on the outside of her and bump her shoulder, and he kind of do it aggressively, so you know it was intentional. And he keep going. He don't say excuse me anything. Don't mind his manners. So what you do? Your first instinct is this. Why? Because you want to protect your woman. And it's disrespectful as shit for somebody to do that and not say excuse me, right? So, fellas, this is not bad. I just gave you a clear example. Why wouldn't you get mad? If you didn't get mad, I would question your masculinity. All right, guys? But listen to me close. You have to understand, every time you get mad, that does not mean it needs a reaction. That situation, that guy bumping into your chick, of course it needs a reaction. G, choke his ass up. G, I drag his ass for you if I ever see that happen, if I'm your boy. But I'm just saying, G, some shit ain't worth all that, bro. I'm gonna be honest, some shit ain't even worth you talking. Silence, my G. It ain't worth you, bro. Trust me, all right? And I'm gonna frame this for you. With women, a lot of you guys be reacting too much with women. The purpose of this video is to get you out of reacting, okay? A lot of you guys react too much with women. A woman will tell you something, and you know, she know that what she's saying don't even hold any weight, bro. It don't mean nothing, all right? But you got to react. Why? Because you care more about her perception about you. You're not even thinking about what she's saying. You thinking about all this other stuff. You thinking about how she think about you, whether or not she respect you, her perception of you. Now you feel like you emasculated. Gee, 98% of the shit women say, let it blow by, bro. It don't even matter. And I'm not saying it don't even matter like they don't have value. I'm just saying, bro, you're letting too much shit get to you. Most of the shit women say, you can laugh it off if you sit there and think about it. You ever got into an altercation or argument with somebody and you crashed out and then you went by yourself after the fact and you thought about it and you thought about it and you was like, man, it wasn't even worth all that, bro. I know they was tripping, but I was really tripping. You feel me? If you never had that epiphany or reflection, bro, you really got a problem. Because at some point, G, you should be like, bro, it ain't even worth all that. Now I understand the feeling of conviction towards it, bro, but you got to take care of this. I am only saying this from self-experience. This is not out of a book, and I'm not critiquing anybody, bro. This is first because this was my worst one. Now, this is my favorite one. Stress. All right? As a man, G, I'm going to get straight to the point because we ain't women. I can't sugarcoat it. As a man, this is mandatory. You're like, what? It's mandatory? I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm saying it's mandatory. You need this. There's a thing called stress tolerance. And the measure of a man, I'm going to be honest with you. We talk about all this shit. We talk about body game. We talk about money. We talk about looks. We talk about status. Gee, look. One true measure of a man is his stress tolerance. How much you can deal with stress. How much you can tolerate stress. Okay, fellas? If you can't tolerate stress, you can't be successful. If you can't tolerate stress, you can't retain a woman for a long time. You like, damn, why women gotta be stressful? They not, fellas, but they will be if you can't tolerate it. All right? If you don't reframe how you look at stress and frustration. All right? And now, watch this. All three of these things, well, four, but all three of these things, guys, you remember COVID? The men who can deal with the anger and the frustration and the stress and the depression of that shit made a lot of money during COVID, bro. The men who couldn't were broke and stayed broke for a while until the sun came back up, all right? And if they wasn't broke, G, they was in a fucking bad situation, all right? Now listen to me, I'm going to tell you why. There was a lot of fucking anger and disdain during COVID. A lot of mystery going on, and it caused a lot of frustration. And because people lost their jobs and didn't know what to do, they got sad. But there were some men and women, of course, people, a small contingent amount of people that took all that stress and used it as a catalyst and say, I'm gonna let this push me. I can't stay in this shit. I can't stay in this shit. And this ain't even worth it, G. This don't get anything done. Yes, this can be a driver, all right? So this is about not only detaching from your emotions, but understanding them. Understanding that these are warning signals. All right, guys, if you live in a long time dealing with these things, or 2 out of the 3, or even 1 out of the 3, and you ain't getting over it, that is a signal that something is going on in your life that is not working out and you probably need to fix it. I'll give you an example. Somebody talked about depression. Gee, I'm not going to even touch that subject because a lot of men too soft. That's why I'm trying to make this video a little bit fun, right? But a lot of people talk about depression, or some people do. I'm going to tell you this. Depression is only a sign. I'm not going to talk about whether or not the fact that it's actually clinical, because I think it is. Gee, that ain't the point of the fucking video. But I'm going to tell you what it could be. Sometimes it's a sign to tell you that your life ain't where you want it to be, G, and you know that. So how about you do this? Use it as a motivator. I need some motivation. You don't need nobody to pump you up. You just need to go outside and look at your tree. That's all you need to do. Go look at it. You don't like it. When you walk up to it, you're not proud of it. That's why you're not watering with good information. That's why you're self-sabotaging it. So when you get into conflict, like I said, and this ain't even about conflict, whenever you get an opportunity, you can't handle it. Why? Because most opportunities come in the form of problems, which gives you a multitude of emotions. All right, guys? Now listen to me, guys, and I'm going to be more direct with this one, okay? You don't have time to be pissed off all the time. You must detach from this. I'm not saying don't be mad. Understand your emotions, but this is still a feeling, G. You don't have time for this shit. All right? You don't have time to not use stress as a catalyst. I ain't say you can't be stressed. I wake up stressed every day, but I use it as a catalyst. I'm stressed because I got a lot of shit to do. Okay? You stressed because you got a lot of shit to do, but you're not doing it. So when somebody come in your face, you put more attention on them than you do on your own life. Why? Because you got the time to do it, and that energy you got, that masculine energy you got, that testosterone you got pumping in your veins, it got to be released somewhere, bro. That's why you releasing it on other people. Gee, I'm so tired from working every day. You tell me something crazy, I'm going to look at you like, bro, get out of here with that. I mean, I got the energy to kick your ass, but I'm tired, bro. I'm tired. I ain't got time to get in trouble. I ain't got time to be sad. I don't have too many things to do. Because if I was sad, who cares? You wouldn't even know. Gee, I make a video every day. You don't think one day out of those 365 days a year, I'm not sad? But you don't see it because I got shit to do. All right, guys? All right, so let's talk about something else. Let's talk about a big word. It's only 3 letters, but it's a big word. All right, and something you need to really, really detach from. Now, it's not emotions, but it's ego. All right, fellas? Now, we're going to detach from your ego today. And if you're serious about your life, you would want to do it today. Because like I said, you don't have time to be in your ego. You don't have time for an ego. A lot of men complain about women and they big egos. Bro, men ain't no different. Men ain't no different. Every time you get mad as hell or emotional as fuck for shit that you ain't even gonna think about tomorrow, that has all to do with your ego. So what we're going to do today, like I said, is detach from your ego. Like I said, I'm going to make this fun. You guys ever watch Everybody Hate Chris? Some of you younger guys don't know what I'm talking about. But there's a sitcom called Everybody Hate Chris. And I want you to just go watch one episode, because probably in every single episode, people would say crazy shit to Chris. Because remember, everybody hates Chris, right? Right? That's the point of the fucking show. So people always used to do shit to Chris, talk shit about Chris, roast Chris, embarrass Chris. And every time, Chris would just look at the camera with like this stale face, bro. Like, bro, really? All right? Just like in The Office, bro. All right? But what he would do, what that showed you, he grabbed into the fourth wall. All right? That's what you need to do with your life, fellas. Every time something happened, whether it's actually physically, whether you walking away, go and take a walk, journaling, meditating, whatever it is, or whether you actually doing it in that present moment mentally, You need to detach, bro. All right, go watch the fucking shit. It's funny as shit because everything still be going on in the background, but he turn and look at the camera and break the fourth wall like, what the fuck is going on, G? And you watching like, gee, I don't know what's going on either. He turned back and the show continues. That's how you need to go. Because every time he do that, it's always when he could have crashed out or when he could have did something dumb like most men do. When somebody do something as small as write a comment about them on social media. Gee, I laugh at that shit. You know, I joke around with the people. I either agree with them, ignore them, or make a joke about it. One of the three. But I ain't gonna let it get to me, bro. That's my ego. That's me telling myself I'm more important than I actually really am. Like, people don't talk shit about other people all day. You ain't the only person people talking shit about. Trust me, bro. Think about if you a celebrity, bro. You got millions of people talking shit about you, bro. They get hate comments, bro. They get hate mail written to their house every day, bro. And you have somebody write a bullshit comment about you with a faceless profile, and now you mad and you crashing out and that ruined your day. Gee, reframe your mind, bro. Life ain't that bad. I'm telling you it's not, bro. I guarantee you it's not. It's all about how you see it. And one thing about how you see it is how you look at your ego. You use your ego to make you work hard. You use your ego to look in the mirror and say you the man so you don't quit. But you don't have to use your ego with other people. All right? You making other people your enemies. Like women are your biggest villain, bro. And you crashing out about women. See, you think it's your emotions. Gee, it's your environment. It's the watering. Somebody told you that either if you don't have a woman or if you have a woman that's not treating you right, that your life is fucked up. No, fellas, you just need to fix that situation. Your life ain't bad. You're still a man. You're breathing every day, G. And that's all really you have to think about. This video should have been 5 seconds long. And I should have just told you to be grateful that you fucking alive, bro. That's it. All right, guys. But unfortunately, some things need to be explained. All right, now I'll give you a strategy. Okay, let's do some application. I'll give you a strategy. So one strategy that I do, because fellas, I tell you guys, listen, reason why I can talk shit about this and be completely honest with you and be serious with you and why I have so much conviction is because I used to be a crash out. All right. Now, remember I talked about environment with the tree. Okay, fellas, environment. Now, your surroundings, okay? You need to start surrounding yourself intentionally with calm. All right. Now, as a man, especially as a man on purpose, your life should be chaotic. It should be, right? It's a nuance. It should be. If you're chasing your goals and you're going after it 110%, as you should be, especially if you watch my channel, your life should be chaotic. It should be hectic. It should be stressful. Remember we talked about stress and frustration? There should be times of anger. There should be times of sadness. There should be ups and downs in emotions. Why? Because you're pushing. And anybody who's pushing uphill will feel resistance. Okay, guys? So, as a man, you have to take care of yourself. All right? Remember I talked about application, something you need to do. Take care of yourself. Surround yourself with calm. I'll show you why, bro. When I used to work corporate, bro, there were guys, grown men in their 30s, 40s, and 50s used to come to work pissed off. Gee, I'm talking about coming to work pissed off. I ain't talking about they came to work in a great mood at 8:30 in the morning and then somebody pissed them off and now they mad. Gee, I'm talking about they walked in the door pissed off. All right? And the reason why is because they don't surround themselves with calm. They got a chick at home who getting on their damn nerves, G. All right? And they argue that morning and he couldn't even take care of himself to ride there. Why? Because he either on the phone with her or bitching the whole time, G. He don't have emotional awareness. That's why he can walk in a corporate building knowing he got to put on a face for people he don't know, strangers, i.e. customers, but he can't do that. Why? Because he ain't surrounding himself with calm. All right, guys, you have to do this as a man, bro, okay? Whatever you got a Zen G, meditation, like I said, journaling, bro. If you had a long day, stressful day, don't just go to bed pissed off and frustrated. I know you worked hard and you want to lay down, but take 5 minutes to take care of yourself, bro. Meditate, pray, journal, do something, take care of your mind, G. Just like that tree. You can't plant that tree and once it start growing, you just let it sit outside in the cold and the rain and all that shit. You got to go take care of it. So when it starts snowing, G, you might have to cover that motherfucker. You feel me? All right, G, you might have to put some extra gate around it so the motherfucking foxes don't get into it. You can't let you have to, bro. And even if the foxes do get into it, bro, you need a contingency plan. So like I said, you can't stop the foxes sometimes. All right? Sometimes your bitch gonna get on your nerves. Sometimes the people at work gonna piss you off. Sometimes people gonna cut you in traffic. But remember what I said, bro. Take time to pause. Think. All right? But not only that, surround yourself with calm, G. Do certain shit, bro. A good example is the gym. Okay, fellas, a good example is the people you around. It's certain people you probably need to stop talking to. Because you have normal shit that happens to you every day, but then you get around people always complaining and whining and bitching and moaning, and then they drain your energy. All right, and by the time you get home, you on E. Not because you work hard, because your environment, your surroundings, it ain't calm at all. All right, now I'm not saying life is supposed to be calm, but you got to add some of that shit to your life yourself. All right, guys, especially if you're a man of purpose. Let's move on. Now, my last point for the day. All right, guys, this is what I need you to do. I need you to practice neutrality. All right, guys, I need you to practice neutrality. Now, understanding that life is day and night, is yin and yang, is good and bad. So what I mean by practicing neutrality is looking at every situation. So when you stop and pause and you think and reflect, and you should be doing this on a daily basis, not just in your interactions with people, G. And I know the reason for your emotions is because of people. It's neutrality, understanding that there's good and there's bad to everything. Understanding that the same thing that can give you the intense emotion of happiness, astoundment, and joy can also give you the reverse emotion of pain and discomfort. All right? Depending on how you look at it and depending on where you are in that process with that thing. So I give an example, a beautiful woman. Yes, she makes you feel good. She cooks for you. She cleans for you. She's submissive. She loves you. She takes care of you. But in the same breath, G, she's chaotic. She argues. She starts arguments. She complains. She whines. That's women, bro. All right, so you got to understand when you get a woman and she has all these great qualities, just how she makes you feel good. The moment she doesn't answer your phone call or ghosts you, you should expect the reverse emotion. So I'll give you another example. When you love a woman, G, going into the situation, emotional awareness. Look at the fucking surroundings, bro. All right, pay attention. Bro, listen, guys, because you guys got these problems with women. And you got to understand that we all have problems with women. But certain men look at it differently. They have a different mindset. All right? So, you find a woman. You love her. You're in love with her. All right? So, she makes you feel good. When she walks in the room, you feel great. She turns you on. Your dick poking up to the ceiling when she walk in the room, G. But let me tell you this. You need to understand in your head, in the back of your mind, that if she leave, you're going to be heartbroken. All right? So it's going to be easier to let her leave knowing you're going to end up in that feeling or emotion when it happens. And it's okay to be heartbroken. It's okay to miss a woman. All right, guys? It's an enjoyable experience to miss a woman. All right, guys? You know why? Because it's better to feel something than to not feel anything at all. All right, so stop getting upset when you have these negative feelings. Vibrating high ain't all about feeling good all the time. It's about the framing of your mind about your feelings. So when you feel sad, look up in the sky. Thank God I can feel sad. Most people can't feel sad. Why? Because they ain't here, G. It's day and night to everything, bro. Yeah, you feel sad. Yeah, you depressed. And yeah, you stressed. But guess what, G? You're walking on 2 feet and you're breathing. But that guy laying 6 feet under, he ain't feeling none of the negative emotions you have. But guess what? He ain't feeling none of the positive ones either. All right, fellas? So pay attention, guys. Probably the most important thing you're going to hear this year if you made it to the end. All right, fellas? So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Share this with your family, all right, fellas? We out of here, baby.